Kia ora e te whānau a ihu karaiti, ko Andrew Doubleday tēnei. Well, here I am, just coming out of lockdown. I got a wonderful text from the Ministry of Health this morning telling me that I'm free. Nearly 2 weeks, first with Lynn and then it was my turn with the dreaded COVID. So here we are again. Our text for Sunday the 17th of July 2022. Our Gospel text is Luke chapter 10 verses 37 through to 42. It's a very well known story. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to what he was saying. But Martha was distracted by her many tasks. So she came to him and asked, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her." Now the text, and I think texts generally that concern this couple, cast Martha as the matriarch. This is described as her home. Martha is the active, the proactive one. Martha is the initiator. She's the one who's engaged. She's a worker, she's a goer, she's a doer. And she has, according to what we read here, a sister named Mary, probably a younger sister, and a brother, although we don't find him featured in this text that we know of as Lazarus. The place? Well, the town, by looking at the other gospel narratives, has to be Bethany, because this is where they lived. This is the certain village that we see that Luke describes here. Bethany is close to the brow of the close to the brow of the Mount of Olives, overlooking Jerusalem. And Jesus is on his way here. Luke suggests perhaps on his last journey. So here they are. Martha has taken the initiative. Martha has invited Jesus and his followers to experience her hospitality, and now she's expecting Mary to help her. And Mary isn't buying it. Mary has her own mind. Mary is doing what Mary wants to do, and she will not be bullied. I can kind of imagine all the banging and clattering that's going on with Martha. I can imagining the meaningful looks that she's throwing at her sister and trying to get her to do things, to cooperate with her. And Mary ignores it all. She's kind of passive resistant. She's just tuning it all out and not pretending that it doesn't exist. She's just not taking any notice. And what is happening for Martha? Martha is getting more and more resentful. And what does Mary do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We read that Mary was distracted by her many tasks. Distracted here, the word that's used here is literally drawn away. It's a picture of a sword being drawn out of its scabbard, drawn away. And I love the way that Eugene Peterson puts it in the Message, where he says, Martha was pulled away by all she had to do. Can you picture Martha? She really just wants to be where Mary is. She just wants to be sitting at the feet of Jesus, just as Mary is. But she's got all these things that have to be done and have to be done now. And she's running hither and thither and always got an ear out, trying to catch what's going on, always wanting to be where Mary is, but not able to appropriate. You can sense her leaning across, trying to snatch moments of what's happening. And as she does that, she always notices Mary just quietly sitting there and feels herself increasingly enraged. The resentment within her is seething. And we would imagine, so why can't Mary help? There are many of us that would feel a great deal of sympathy for Martha. And she appeals to Jesus. And we might expect that Jesus would support her. But he doesn't. He firmly goes into bat for Mary, which is in some way really unfair and quite shocking. And we might be thinking, yeah, but Jesus is concerned that Mary hears these great pearls of wisdom that are coming from him. I don't think that's what it is. Does any of this matter? Any of the words that Jesus has said? Will any of it have eternal cosmic significance, even for Mary? Probably not. But all of Martha's guests would surely be grateful for her ministry with them. Undoubtedly. They'll all been fed and looked after and well attended to. They'll be very grateful to Martha for all that she's doing. Yet she wants more. She wants to be where Mary is, with Jesus. I want to suggest there's something here for us. Jesus says that Mary has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken away from her. What is this better part? What is it that Mary is getting that Martha isn't? She's just sitting quietly, being Mary. For many of us, sitting quietly and doing nothing, particularly when someone else is running around and flapping, can engender guilt. Surely we should be doing something. We're not doing enough. She's not only not doing enough, she's doing nothing. She's not doing anything. She's just soaking up being with Jesus. Is that enough? Apparently. Apparently it is. And she's commended by Jesus for doing that. And Martha wishes that she could be doing it too. So what's it like? Just soaking up being with Jesus. The answer is kind of counterintuitive, I think anyway. One would think that it provides us with nothing, maybe with just a passing nice feeling. I want to suggest we couldn't be more wrong. There's something that is being built into Mary here as she's simply sitting, just being with Jesus. I periodically wake up in the morning. I'm an early riser. I have to say that. If you don't know that about me, I'm an early riser. And there'll be times when I wake up feeling mildly depressed. What have you got to be depressed about, Andrew? I have no idea, but I will feel mildly depressed. And what I do is I go into my study with a little cup of coffee and a cup of hot water, and I'll sit. I have a couple of devotional exercise books that I just quietly spend a few minutes with. I look at a text and I'll just sit there. I'll sit there for up to 3/4 of an hour. And what happens? Often, nothing. Do I get any great insights? Very rarely. Does anything exciting happen? Almost never. If you ask me if anything happened, I would say nothing happens. Yet I know this, that when I finished and when I get up, almost certainly my depression has lifted. Almost certainly I'm feeling ready for the next part of my day. And I know that I'm not alone. Can I tell you anything that I've learnt? Any new insights? No. Yet what I do know is that it is invariably the most important time that I spend each day. And yet I'm so often like Martha. I've been noticing that of lately, and so I've been found it very useful to encounter this again, realizing that so often I'm the distracted one. I'm sitting there in my chair. One of the most fatal things is to have my phone with me, because there's always so many interesting and important articles to read. There's little video clips that I need to be watching. Seriously? No. Because when I do that, I'm missing the most important thing, which is what Mary has discovered. There is nothing more important than simply soaking and being with Jesus. And it's something that's offered to each of us. We all get to make the choice. We all get to make the choice that Mary made and Martha wishes she could have made. Is to simply spend time being with Jesus. Try it. God bless you.